Hello, I'm Ben Schreiner, a business development leader here at AWS, and I'm excited to talk to you about building a modern technology foundation for your company's future. Let's start off by talking about what a modern digital business looks like. This mental model helps us get our arms wrapped around all the components that could go into the evolution of your company and how your business engages with customers. Starting with being customer obsessed, innovating and testing rapidly, leveraging data strategically to engage customers and make better decisions, and having remote productivity for your employees. And then finally, today's session on secure and elastic technology foundations supporting that modern digital business. If we look at technology priorities for most companies, they start with this: providing the right technology, providing reliable technology, cost-effective technology, adapting to market changes, moving fast or moving faster, and contributing to the growth of the business. So we need a compute platform for every workload. And at AWS, we offer a broad and deep compute platform to run virtually any type of workload. That foundation for innovation that you build on top of starts with Amazon EC2 for virtual server instances. It's complemented by our Amazon ECS for containers and EKS for Kubernetes, and then augmented as well by AWS Fargate. And then lastly, and certainly not least, is AWS Lambda for serverless compute. When we bring all this together, you can simplify capacity and cost optimization by looking at the different ways to buy instances and making sure you're taking full advantage of the flexibility that the AWS platform offers, allowing you to not have to buy expensive hardware for peak services or peak performance, and instead reserve instances for things that are predictable and reliable. As things or services are in higher demand, you spike up to on-demand services. And then last but not least, if you had a sudden spike, you could use spot instances for brief periods of time and get significant savings. So a lot of flexibility on how you buy, and let's talk a bit about what you can buy. There is no shortage. We have the broadest and deepest platform of compute. Whether it's our various categories, the numerous different capabilities within those categories, it really all results in 350 different ways that you can deliver compute, finding the right mix for your workloads and for the performance that you're looking for. And the beauty is you can upgrade and change these quite rapidly, not like in the physical world where you'd have to wait for a server to be delivered. So sometimes having too much choice, like a very large menu at dinner, can be intimidating. And maybe that's, you can't make a decision and you just need something that's just easier. So having that much choice can be intimidating. And that's why we built Amazon Lightsail. It launches in minutes, allows you to scale, and really has cloud resources that you manage. So what is it? What can it do? It allows for a low predictable price. You click and launch and have blueprint OSs. You can launch managed databases, and it allows for a console to allow you to control all the networking settings. The most common use cases are simple web apps or websites, business software, and we see a lot of customers using it for quick and fast dev and test environments where developers don't need to worry about the underlying infrastructure. They just spin it up and go. So we talked a lot about compute. Let's talk about security. If we're talking about moving fast, and where I grew up on the on-prem world, moving fast was a choice, and it usually meant you were less secure. So you had to make a choice between moving fast or staying secure. And that was before AWS came to the scene. Now it's about moving fast and staying secure. And we do that with our shared responsibility model. AWS takes full responsibility for securing the cloud, all the infrastructure and the facilities and everything that goes into creating that platform that you then leverage. And then you as our customer are responsible for securing what you put in the cloud, whether it be your database or your applications. And we have a lot of best practices and tools to make that as easy as possible. Most customers improve their security stance by moving to AWS. First off, you inherit our global security and compliance controls. We have we're audited by all kinds of third parties, have all kinds of certifications that, again, you inherit because you're leveraging the platform that has all those compliance standards. In addition, you get scalability and visibility and control, which is key to being secure. You have to know what you have, you have to know where it is, and you have to configure it to the highest standards. You actually protect your data. So you have the ability to encrypt in flight as well as at rest. You have we automate and reduce risk with deeply integrated services, making it easier. And then we have a huge ecosystem of security partners and solutions that can be installed and deployed on AWS to further enhance your security posture. And security is made up of a bunch of different things. You have to have, identity and access management and control who and how your services or APIs are being accessed. And you can see here a number of services that we've created to make that as easy as possible. And then there's detection. You need a way to see what's going on and be able to investigate. Then there's infrastructure protection, right? Whether it's firewalls or virtual private networks linking back to your on-premise organization. Data protection, critical that you protect your data. It's one of your company's most valuable assets. We have a bunch of services to make, whether it's key management easier for you or just VPN connectivity. And then last, but certainly not least, when there is an incident, you need to be able to respond and respond quickly. You need to be able to investigate. You need to look at audit logs. You need to see what happens. And you need to be able to have access to that information quickly to be able to respond accordingly. All of these things, and we continue to innovate in the area of security. We know how important it is. It is one of our top priorities to make sure the platform is secure and to make it as easy as possible for you to secure what you put in it. So how about some real examples of these modern digital businesses? And let's start with one hopefully we all know, is Epic Games, one of the most popular video games, Fortnite, with 250 million players. They leverage our infrastructure, our scalable, elastic infrastructure, and have spoken at events before about how many events they handle in a given minute. It is mind-boggling, and they are taking the data from the in-game play and using it to better the game. My kids tell me all the time that this gun or that gun was just nerfed because it was too powerful in the season before. And based on the game dynamics, the team and designers leveled the playing field by making the guns or the weapons a little more even-keeled. Next, one of my favorites is football season and next-gen stats, taking the fan interaction and engagement and adding statistics. And one of the things I really like about what the NFL is doing is not just looking at fan interaction and providing more data and providing it to the teams, but they're also using data to improve the health and injury prevention for the players. Really critical. They're looking at injuries and what's causing injuries, and they're designing new equipment to better protect those players. I think this is a great example of taking data and the insights and really making a difference. And next, we've got Traeger. I'm here in Austin, Texas, and big fan of barbecue and Traeger. These guys used our cloud-based contact center to spin up a call center that allowed them to engage their customers, to be able to talk to them, have people working from home as agents, and still be able to take orders for their grills and be able to serve their customers and needs in a new and different way. It was spun up in a matter of hours, and they're able to pay as they go. So they only pay for what they use for their call center. It's a great innovation for them. And then our last customer example is Intuit. You guys may be familiar with TurboTax and QuickBooks. And this company is all in on AWS, and they've spoken at events before as well. And I just want to highlight that they started with an application that had a huge spike during tax season. It was all around answering questions about taxes. And they put that in AWS, and instead of buying a bunch of hardware to handle those peaks, they were able to handle those peaks and actually have better performance with AWS. That gave them the confidence to then start to move more and more of their application portfolio and their on-prem infrastructure into AWS. And now they're seeing even faster performance, better economics, and continue to innovate their own platform. So finally, what sets AWS apart? Our experience. We've been doing this longer than anybody else, since 2006. Our breadth of service. We've got more workloads operating on AWS than anyone else. We've got more compute options than anyone else. Our pace of innovation, which you'll continue to hear about. We continue to innovate. We have more services and more features in those services than anyone else. Our global footprint with 24 regions and 76 availability zones. Our pricing philosophy, 80 price reductions year to date, not year to date, since inception. Year to date would be incredible, but since inception, 80 price reductions. You're not going to hear from too many other vendors that actually pass along those savings. We're continually looking to optimize our infrastructure and how we operate. And as we do, we pass those savings on to our customers. And then last but not least is a very rich ecosystem of partners, whether they be technology partners that have software that operates on AWS, or system integrators and global system integrators. Lots of different partners adding value here to help you be successful on AWS. So I hope you enjoyed this. I want to thank you for your time, and please fill out the survey. We'd love your feedback.